Are you okay sharing everything?
I share what I feel comfortable sharing.
Hmm.
I'm not, when I interact with people, I just interact as the person I am.
Hmm.
I am in general unfiltered. I'm in general straightforward.
What would your advice be to say someone younger, like say a Rasha, who's so close to you? What would your advice be to the people who are starting out?
मैं पहले तो मैं उससे एडवाइस ले लूँ
वो देती
because
है
that
आपको
is a
advice?
new I would love to because I've never found somebody who's so matured at her age.
If you are having relationship issues, will you ask Rasha?
Uh, I actually don't ask anybody.
Okay.
But yeah, but in life I would take advice from Rasha very happily.
You did Ajay ke sath, you did Himmat Wala back in
Yeah,
the days. So
back
what
in
is
the
it
day.
like being back on the set with Ajay Devgan?
I think it's so much time has elapsed. I think we both are very different people now, which is great because a natural
Right.
sense of evolution happens,
Yeah.
right? With time, we all kind of grow, we all evolve and become, new versions of ourselves. But he's super warm, and it was so seamless because even though it's been so long, and I mustn't have spoken to him even once in this time period, but it was almost like we left off from where we met. So it was beautiful.
I see so many actresses for some reason enter in, become entrepreneurs. Someone is a producer, say Alia is a producer, someone has a beauty line, someone has, a beauty products and they are invested with another company. Actresses, I see a lot showing business interest. Do you have any entrepreneurial interest?
Yes, very much.
Yeah?
Very, very much. And I'm actually a Sindhi, so I come from
Absolutely.
a business family. But yeah, I think soon there would be something that I would love to dabble in.
Aaj Ki Raat became, it really takes the film also to the next level. What did it do for you?
I don't know, it got me like so much unparalleled love.
There's one more coming in Raid 2, right?
There is one more coming. Yeah. I'm actually very, very nervous about it because I feel like when something like Aaj Ki Raat happens, then there's too much pressure.
Too much pressure.
I am Tamannaah Bhatia and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
Tamannaah, welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I was just telling you, how much do you pack in a day? You have gone to the temple. I've just seen on Instagram, you're back. You have a trailer launch. You did some meetings in the middle also.
But I'm meeting fun people like you. I have every reason. I'm excited. I'm excited for what's next.
Great. Touch wood. We need this vibe and energy as well. Tell me, is horror your genre to watch? If you were to sit and watch at home, would horror ever be a genre you would sit and enjoy?
I think I'm more a horror comedy person.
Right.
But absolute horror, I am that person who's extremely scared. So possibly I actually make a good contender to watch horror because I actually take it very I'll get scary dreams and I'll take the film very seriously and I won't be able to get over it. So I'm one of those people.
Right.
So I'm guessing it's made for people like me who are very scared of these films.
Let's say this one, you have shots, you know how it's made, you know what is horror, you still get scared?
I'm sure if I watch the film, there could be moments.
Really?
It's weird. But that's the thing with films, right? Even as actors, when we see films of other actors, we look at them as larger than life and we are enamored and we feel like, oh wow, hota hai. So I think the purpose of a film is to transcend and take you into a world.
Right.
And if it's a good film, then it actually does that.
Yeah, that's true. But so you can switch off and even if watch your own horror and there could be moments, so you can switch off and watch it just as a film.
As a film, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just been me. I've been I might not enjoy looking at myself, which is, it's weird for actors to in general look at their own self. But I'm saying in terms of a scene or a moment, I mean, jump scares, I actually get jump scared. So again, they make it for people like me who do that. So I do that stuff while watching a movie.
Right. I think this has also come with experience. You're in your 20th year in the movies.
Yeah.
This has been a journey of 2 decades. So if I just ask you a basic question, what is the biggest learning that you would like to pass on?
I think persistence, and regardless of what the result is. I think I also ended up choosing a profession that I would have, you want to always do something that you would do for free and then make it a profession, right? So I feel like this is that for me. Right. So that definitely worked and I feel like I never I dealt with failure very well. You know, I would take it in the right stride, and I mean, of course, you have a little bit of a pity party. You enjoy that moment of pity partying, and then you're like, "Ha, chalo, back to set, back to next thing." And but I'm lucky I even got opportunities. You know.
Oh, you're good, so you will get opportunities always. But how does one deal with failure well? Like if a film that you were so close to a role that you put in everything doesn't work, how does one get up and go on the set?
I think you understand that this is a collective art form. A film's failure is not just one person's fault. So there are so many people that need to do their job right, and one person's vision needs to be executed in a way that there is, some amount of, method to it, but also some amount of magic to it. Now, and all of that falling into place only can lead into a good film. So if it works, also you can't take. I don't think you should get it to your head that it's all because of you. It's happened.
Correct. Yeah, both
and
ways.
You don't have to take the failure also too seriously, because technically it's not just you. There are so many people. So the failure is never. It is collective.
Right. But ये चीज बाहर के लोगों को कौन समझाएगा? Because you all are on the poster, you all are the selling
Bill
point.
थोड़ा हम पे फटता है, थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा हम पे फटता है. But that's okay. That we chose that.
Right. There's so much talk about even if when people go and do one movie in the South, there's so much talk. You have done so much work there. You are balancing this very well. We see you enough over here. We see you enough in South movies. Is this balance tough?
For me, it's always been doing movies. I never looked at it as one over the other, or this industry and that industry. And incidentally, in my career, when a film like Bahubali happened, it actually became that one film that unified us as an industry to begin with, I think.
True.
Because I think whenever we posed ourselves as an Indian film industry abroad, I think that's when you realize that ideally the languages are just regional languages, because people speak those languages.
Right.
And there is cultural differences which are evident, and they are there. But we are using that to our strengths. So for me, this is actually a point of strength, and not something that's it's not really like one against the other. But it's actually using, and because I've been exposed to just living in the South thanks to the work I did. I think I have an understanding of their culture, and I'm born and brought up in Mumbai, so naturally I understand this very well. And then I've played different characters. Like I remember playing Bubbly Bouncer, which was Haryana. So I think I've just done so much of. I feel like a lot of India has come through in different parts.
What Bahubali gave you only, now we meet you at Netflix office, you're doing another Amazon series. We keep seeing you at these OTT offices for interviews, but what a Bahubali can give you, only a big screen can give you, right?
Yes. And I feel like that's why it became really important for Odela too, which is the film that's coming out on the 17th of April. When we sat on the film, it just felt like it is a community viewing experience. It is something that's a big screen experience. And I feel like this genre has been positioned a lot for men, but not so much for women.
That's true for some reason, yeah.
And I don't know, I think Sampath sir had this very grand vision for this film. And I'm also playing a character that's not very widely known, because even in the South there is an understanding of, say, people who are like Naga Sadhus or Aghoris, or there are different kinds. Now this is a Shiva Sakti, which is a different kind of. I don't think there's any representation of that in cinema. So I like the fact that Sampath chose a very not scene of characterization. I don't have a reference point. When I was even referencing for the film, I had no cinema reference, so I didn't have at all. But we had to actually meet Shiva Shaktis to understand. Sampath, on the other hand, has grown up in Odela, which is a town. So he has seen people like the character I'm playing. And he's grown up around them. So he had first-hand experience. But for me, it was only till I met them did I understand what their lives are also. And it's interesting. I think in cities we live a very different life, but I think India is a lot bigger than the urban part that we see. So I'm happy that he has chosen this character, and representing this character on screen is what I find is really exciting.
Wow. You also met them?
I did, yeah.
What was that like?
What happens is when people go through very harsh lows in their life, right? They naturally turn to faith, because sometimes you feel like there is nothing beyond that that keeps you together, and you have an option between choosing, negativity or depression or all of that, or you choose faith. Technically, depression and faith are looks like they're like a flip side of the same coin, right? Like you can choose to direct your energy towards something that's negative or something that's positive. You, the only difference is that you're making a choice. I guess these women have gone through very harsh, and when I spoke to most of them, they had very like someone had like almost a near death experience, someone had very harsh family life, someone lost a child. They all moved on to it because there's something very drastic happened in their life. But you had to see their, I swear, and I feel like we haven't done this in this film, and if we ever make another part, I would make sure we do it. These people had the most joyful faces I've seen.
Wow, that's so nice. Yeah.
And it is so amazing. I feel like in our lives and the way we live,
It
we've
so
lost this. We're so like serious about everything. It was so wonderful to see them so childlike, and just like they had the smiles that like touched their eyes. Like there was, so I was very happy to have met them for real and understand that we've of course done a cinematic representation of them, and it's completely fictitious, and it's got all supernatural elements in it. But I was quite touched to see the real people.
Wow.
And who this is based on.
Wow, when you do a subject that's so interesting, and also if you have half a little bit of interest in that, how do you make sure you don't go deep into that? Because there's no end to to going and jumping into something and just learning more and more, becoming a part of it. Where do you switch off?
I think it is, cinema is always going to be a director's medium,
right?
And it is one person's vision of and a perspective of that particular subject. So I feel like you draw that boundary where whatever you've experienced or whatever you know or understand, it becomes a very subliminal layer inside you, and it's never really out there, obviously, literally. And you constantly put out the narrative that is of the filmmaker, because essentially it's his medium, and it's his perspective that you're putting, and you are the medium for his perspective.
True. So. Yeah. How religious are you? How spiritual are you? Are you more spiritual, less religious, more religious, less spiritual?
I think I've always been a seeker since I was a young girl. That was something that when I was, I think, 13 or something, I had written in my diary, who am I? And that question, of course, after some point I stopped chasing it. Life happened and got into things. But in the past 2.5 years, what's been really life-changing for me is sadhana. And maybe also that could be a reason I got drawn to this subject.
Oh yeah.
Because that when happens, you of course, I repeat myself because I think it matters. This is a film and it's a very cinematic representation of it. But I feel like the seed can always be something that you experience or something that you feel that you connect with. So I think faith, bhakti, jise kehte hain, I think that definitely was a reality for me, because sadhana changed how I look at life, and also made my everyday very joyful. Like I love that I wake up enthusiastic, happy, excited, regardless of what's going on.
Right. Regardless of what's going on, but you live you're in the public eye. Whatever happens in your life, everybody knows.
Yes.
Good, bad. Some days are amazing. Some days are not so amazing. Are you okay sharing everything? That one personally sharing, and the fact that when you're walking, everybody literally knows everything. When you're going at a Bollywood party, everybody knows everything about you.
I think I have always been like, I share what I feel comfortable sharing. I'm not, when I interact with people, I just interact as the person I am. I am in general unfiltered. I'm in general straightforward. I find it extremely hard to, like, I mean, I keep joking about it, keep paise ke bagair acting nahi karni. Because I'm like, camera ke samne to karte hain. You don't want to be living that life in real also. So yeah, I'm just in general like that, and it's, I can't control what everybody thinks or feels, and I don't intend to also. So I'm really like, I just put what is true to me, and then everyone is free to go on their understanding of it.
You've accepted this is a part of your job?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I also started really young, which kind of helped me slowly understand the entire ecosystem. And I'm a big believer that you can never shame the ecosystem. In fact, I sometimes feel really bad when people talk about the ecosystem in a negative way, because there are good and bad things about it.
What do you mean ecosystem?
Like, it could be the paparazzi, it could be journalists like
Yeah,
yourself, social media, trolling. I'm like, it's all a part of your ecosystem. It's keeping you alive. It's because there is conversation, and because of the conversation, you're there. So, I mean, I just would never want to look at it in a negative way, blame it rather. But yeah.
Since you are, we spoke, you are 20 years in the limelight. What would your advice be to, say, someone younger, like, say, a Rasha, who's so close to you? What would your advice be to the people who are starting out?
पहले तो मैं उससे advice ले लूँ.
वो
Because
देती है आपको
that is a
advice?
new. I would love to, because I've never found somebody who's so matured at her age, and I think it's very. I always want to listen to people who are younger than me, because I feel like ये बोलते ना, like an updated version. So you're always like listening to the more newer version of people around, instead of, because you might still have certain ideas that might be fixed. But I love the fact that they're just so open. And there's so much more to learn from them than give them any advice. There's nothing that you need to take from me.
What?
I'm very happy getting advice.
If you are having relationship issues, will you ask Rasha?
I actually don't ask anybody.
Okay.
But yeah, but in life I would take advice from Rasha very happily.
Wow, that's so interesting. Then there's Ranger, which you just, I'm just asking because I saw another video of you coming out of the airport. So you just shot that also in Hungama, where
yes,
you did Ajay ke saath, you did Himmat Wala back in the days. So what is it like being back on the set with Ajay Devgan?
I think it's so much time has elapsed. I think we both are very different people now, which is great, because a natural sense of evolution happens, right? With time, we all kind of grow, we all evolve and become, new versions of ourselves. But he's super warm, and it was so seamless, because even though it's been so long, and I mustn't have spoken to him even once in this time period, but it was almost like we left off from where we met. Nice. So it was beautiful.
Nice. And there's partners with that will be on Prime Video with Diana.
We still don't have a title to this Prime Video show.
Okay.
But it is something to the effect of partners. We will know soon what the title is. Okay. It's with Diana, and it's a dramatic production. So it's very exciting, because it's an entrepreneurial dramedy. Which is a genre which I don't think someone has attempted in a while. And with it being female-led, I feel like it makes it really exciting.
Wow. And I see so many actresses, for some reason, become entrepreneurs. Someone is a producer, say Alia is a producer, someone has a beauty line, someone has, a beauty products, and they're invested with another company. Actresses, I see a lot showing business interest. Do you have any entrepreneurial interest?
Yes, very much.
Yeah?
Very, very much. And I'm actually a Sindhi, so I come from a business family. But yeah, I think soon there would be something that I would love to dabble in.
Oh, you would? Wow. So
सब आज बता दूंगी तो फिर बाद में बताने का कुछ होगा नहीं, but बताऊंगी जरूर.
बताओगी जरूर. But does this come from using your power and contacts and your face, or just a security and having business?
I think I know for a fact the day I turn towards entrepreneurship, it will be because I have something to contribute. Okay. Because I don't think, I've been an artist for so long, and I feel like my strength lies in making people feel something. And I feel like today is that time in my life where I feel like I truly have something to say. Wow. And that expression can come through my fashion, it can come through the film choices I make, it could come through an interview I'm giving to you or to anybody. And similarly, so when it comes into entrepreneurship, I think it will be something that I'll be able to contribute to.
Nice. It could be the song that you do. Like, Aaj Ki Raat, it really takes the film also to the next level. What did it do for you?
I don't know. It got me like so much unparalleled love. I don't think I was prepared for this kind of one. Like, I was doused in love by like just everyone, from kids to the elderly, to young girls, to everybody. Like, I think that the cross section of people who hadn't ever approached me also started to approach me, just to just say that, hey, we just loved how you expressed yourself and how good you felt in your skin. So I feel like that the song did a lot of things, which was, I think it went beyond it went beyond talent. It went beyond the ability to perform a certain way. I think it had a very different impact on people, and I'm very happy that it could.
It was an amazing song. There's one more coming in Raid 2, right?
There is one more coming. Yeah. I'm actually very nervous about it, because I feel like when something like Aaj Ki Raat happens, then there's too much pressure.
Too much pressure. The one thing that has changed your life, one incident, one movie, one song.
I think that's changed my life. Like I mentioned actually earlier, it's been sadhana. And for people who don't understand what sadhana means, it's it's the English alternative word to it is meditation.
Right.
And I feel like today's times we need it all the more, because we want to live this high intensity, lives. And I feel like stress is just something that shouldn't be a part of our lives. We can live this high intensity, but only if we could channel ourselves better.
Right. One director you leave everything to work with.
Rajamouli sir.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. One of the best in India. One actor you're looking forward to working with.
I'd love to work with Varun.
Varun?
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Actually, we went to the same school.
You all went to the same school?
Yeah, so I think, and I love his energy. I've known him even as a young girl, because he was in my brother's class. And I love the kind of, I just like all the cinematic experiences he makes.
Right.
And would love to collaborate.
Right. Lastly, everybody is talking about how this industry is going through a turmoil. Do you think about it, and does it affect you as an actor? Because when films are not working, there's too much of that talk going on.
Actually, I would look at it a different way. It's good. Nobody knows what's going on. It's fab. It's fantastic. Because when nobody knows what's going on, is the one time you are literally forced to look into what is it that you really like. And then you can't cop out with, अरे ये चलेगा वो चलेगा, वो pressure ही नहीं है आप पे पहली बार कि ये चलेगा वो चलेगा, क्योंकि कुछ भी मतलब जो चल रहा था वो नहीं चल रहा, तो अच्छा है, क्योंकि अभी हमको we are not dependent on the regular tropes. So now we have to only listen to ourselves.
Right.
So that's a fab opportunity.
It's a great time to change things. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to the song that comes out next.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Tamannaah and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.